Hello, everyone. Welcome in Battle Royale Baseball to this week's weekly rankings brought to you by Rex and the IRS. Michael has a new name this week. It is not 0 and 6.
That's right. I am the IRS because I just fucked over the taxpayers.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Somebody
All
had to
right.
do it.
Getting into this week, we had a huge upset. The Homes Hitters get on the board in a very high offense matchup here. Pretty much the two highest scoring teams this week, besides I think Trav and him tied, and the Rally Birds are right beneath them. So the two highest scoring teams of the week pretty much went at it. And the Homes Hitters, who dropped 30 some points last week, are taking the bread home. What do we have to say about that, Michael?
This is the only thing I actually have to say. You know what that sounds like, Austin? That sounds like victory, baby.
Oh,
God, I'll be back in a second.
I love it. I love it. All right, yeah, cut that out before we get copyright infringement on our video here.
Don't worry, it's like 15 seconds. I think we're good.
Yeah. Rex's Rally Birds take down Randy's Balls in a matchup early in the week that I was actually terrified I was going to lose. Cole came out hot and kind of tumbled into the weekend, had a rough stretch, and the Rally Birds showed up, moving to 5-1, the Rally Birds. Trav's Raviolis, like I said, had a great week, 69.5 to 52.5, take down the Broken Bat Bombers. And don't let Trav get hot. I've said it before. I think that this team can make a run here and get into the playoffs. They're going to move to 2-4. And the Broken Bat Bombers will move back to 500. The Uranus Mud Biscuits are going to sneak out a win over the Ninja Chickens. And Ninja Chickens are back to 500. And the Mud Biscuits move to 5-1. And then we have Sam Sluggers, who suffered the injury of the week this week, losing to Hormones with Clubs, also moving to 5-1. We have three teams in the league that are moving to 5-1. Sam has been bit by the injury bug worse than anybody in the league so far, and he's going to probably need to figure something out with his lineup because he lost Trout and Wilson Contreras this week, and that is probably why he only scored 31 points. I probably would say he's probably going to lose either way if Wilson Contreras was healthy, but a bad week for Sam. And then Ryan's Rallying Raw is going to move to 500 and take down Andrew's bum shoulder.
It's your dog?
Yeah. Andrew's bum shoulder. Stop.
Put that thing down.
What did you just find? Stop. Hang on. You fucking idiot.
Put some peanut butter on yourself?
Oh, he drugged my controller off of my desk. Okay, sorry. Travis Rawls is saying, I beg to differ. I lost Schwarber, Trey, and Conforto.
Well, he can beg all he wants, but too bad, so sad.
Yeah. But Ryan takes down Clayton and moves to 500. All right, let's get into injury of the week here. I already mentioned it. Wilson Contreras for Sam. He lost Trout the week before. He loses Wilson Contreras. I didn't even realize Soler, who's probably his best replacement, is also on the IL.
Yeah. Rough. I mean, come on, Trav. He's lost Mike Trout for nearly the entire year. Wilson Contreras for 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know what Soler's injury is, but I think these are a little bit more impressive injuries than the ones that he brought up in the chat.
Yeah, he's gonna miss half his team pretty much for the whole entire season. I mean, he's not gonna have Wilson Contreras back until probably August, and I don't think Trout will be back until
Trout's not coming back till like August almost.
late August. Yeah, if he even comes back at all. Trav is saying Turner for 6 weeks. Get the fuck out of here.
It's one player. We just listed
one
3.
player. He did lose. He lost 2 players for pretty much the whole season. So, if this is a pissing contest, I'm giving it to Sam. It's a whining contest of who's hurt the most, I guess. So,
yeah.
But Sam gets the injury of the week. Yes, it does suck that you lost Trey Turner for 6 weeks,
Trav. Biased fucks. Biased how? It's literally injuries. Who's he missing? Schwarber's fucking day to day, dog. What the? 2 injuries, and one of them's day to day. Oh my god.
Hilarious. But
we need to move him down just for saying that.
Well, thank you.
Y'all don't want to see me win at anything.
Served food. Thank you, babe. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Grace. We love you.
You did, actually, though.
Happy Mother's Day, Grace.
But, yeah, so Sam's getting the injury of the week this week with Willson Contreras. Will Smith scores half a point to take dud of the week for Sam as well.
Sam has Will Smith?
Yes. I mean, this matchup here had 2 really big duds. Machado with 1 point and Will Smith with a half a point. Yeah, Machado has not been good this year.
Hitters could never have scores this low.
Yeah, not good. But moving on to the MVP, we had Marcus Semien for the Arlington Taxpayers. Dropped 20 points in this tight matchup. A lot of guys in this matchup had great weeks. O'Neal Cruz had a great week. Marcus Semien had a great week. Anthony Volpe had a good week. But ultimately, the highest score this week, there's a lot of guys around that, 15 to 20 mark. But Semien's going to take it home this week.
Well, there's your consolation prize there, Austin.
Yes, yeah, great week by the Taxpayers. Ultimately, going to get the L though. And then finally, the manager of the week. Oh yeah, Michael Holmes gets his first win of the year. Highest scoring week in a while, I think, for anybody. I don't think anybody's topped 80. You were close to it. The Holmes hitters are taking home manager of the week. What do you have to say this week, Michael?
I mean, that's the matchup you need to win, right? Your opponent comes out swinging 69.5 points, and you still just buried them. You put the league on notice. You said, hey, we're back. We're here. This is the Redcoats right here. This was the British. And I'm George Washington. And I crossed that fucking Delaware. And now we have a nation. So I'm putting the league on notice. You better watch out. We're coming for that final playoff spot. And then we're just going to roll through the playoffs.
I like the confidence.
What's Trav saying? What's Jada up to? Seems suspicious.
I don't know. I don't know what that even means.
I don't know what that means either.
All right. You want to do the rankings, or were you wanting to talk about your?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Let me.
Yeah, we got a few minutes. I feel like we're running just a little bit ahead of schedule. We'll kind of get quicker through the rankings this week. So Michael has cooked up. What is this, Michael?
This is a. Hold on, sorry. I have to close Excel. This is basically a Excel sheet that is detailing the based on weeks 1 through 5, so it does not take into account this last week. And all it's saying is that holy cow, Excel wants me to sign up for a business plan. It basically is just trying to show the teams that are underperforming and overperforming. So I don't actually know if I can share this without. Oh, maybe I can.
I have it. I think to where you.
I think I can do it. Let me check.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I have it saved. You sent it to me the other day.
Okay. So this does not take into account week 1 through 6. But as we can see, it has taken into account, based on the wins, losses so far, your points for and points against, and your averages. It has predicted the final standings. It says that, unfortunately, the Mud Biscuits are going to finish in first place. And no, this is not a biased agenda because it does have me finishing last. So I didn't just cook up something random here. Then over here, so this is the Pythagorean rank. This is where it shows basically the best team to the worst team in order. So note that, like, Rex, you're in first place here, but in the Pythagorean rank, it has you finishing in third. And then over here, so the positive numbers means your team is underperforming. So it actually thinks that, like, Parker Lutz's team has underperformed so far. And negative numbers means that the team has overperformed. So, and examples would be it does not like Caleb Watts. It also really doesn't like Sam, and it does not like the Rally Birds so far.
Rude.
Yeah, this excuse, I know it had Marsh there, and it still doesn't really like him either. But the thing to note is that don't take this as gospel, guys, because this is how it actually ranks real baseball teams. And in real baseball games, your team plays defense. So your team actually does control the points against. Whereas in fantasy baseball, we have no control over that. I can't play defense on Austin's team, and he can't play defense on mine. So take this with a big grain of salt. But it is fun just to see how math has things shaking out. So it has the Mud Biscuits in first, the Ninja Chickens in second, the Rally Birds third. For whatever reason, it likes the Broken Bat Bombers in fourth. And I won't read them all off because you guys can see. Or maybe you can. It might be a little difficult to see online. Glad math knows I'm getting boned. Correct, Travis. The math does say that you are getting boned a little bit right now. It likes your team. It thinks that you are underperforming. Who knows how this finishes out? I think on a weekly basis, I'll update these numbers, and I'll see what it spits out, and see how those change from week to week. If people want to see this, if you're someone like Cole Becker who wants to put no effort in and doesn't even want me to do this, and I won't do it. All right, Rex, you want to get into the rankings?
Oh yeah, let's get into the rankings.
All right, let me reshare. All right. What we got?
At number 12 this week, falling from 11 to 12.
I'm out of the basement.
Randy's Balls.
Woo!
Man, this team was ranked 5th to start the year, and now has bottomed out at the very bottom. Still another decent week this week.
I was going to say that. They actually played well, and Teoscar Hernandez had a really good week. Yeah.
This team just has not been able to get in the win column, and has lost Austin Riley, it sounds like. I just got the notification on my phone that Riley went down. Might be out for this week. Team that's needing a win bad, but I don't think it's going to get very many more.
Well, I think he could put in. Randy's played a little bit better the past 2 or 3 days. I watched a few of the Rays games. He could sub him in for Taylor Ward. Bellinger's off the IL. He could probably play him as well if Riley is out for next week. So I don't see. I think this team has a future where it can still win games, and it put up 57 this week, which is not a bad score at all. So I hesitate as to say that this is the worst team in the league.
I don't think it's the worst team, but I just don't see this team. I mean, at best, I think this team could claw back to 500. That might even be a hot take.
Okay.
But like I said, they were ranked 5th to start the year, but they are now in the basement at 12. Moving up to number 11, the Holmes Hitters.
We've done it.
Have moved up to number 11. Huge week. Showed a little bit of life this week, bouncing from a terrible week up to 77 points this week. I don't hate this team. It just has been awful this year. Like, it has not been good. I mean, you wouldn't expect Matt Olson to be awful, Seager not be good, Bogarts also sucked, Bo Bichette be literally awful. So this team has the potential to be better. Moving to 1-5 is great. I don't think that this team start maybe too much for it to overcome. But it is feel good, I'm sure, for Michael to get in the win column, especially over one of his good friends, Austin Marsh.
Yeah, Austin, he couldn't beat me in fantasy basketball. Him being the number 1 seed, he couldn't beat me 3 times, and now it's carried over to fantasy baseball. I'd expect it to carry over to fantasy football as well. There's 21 weeks, okay? Not including postseason. There's 21 weeks. We're 1-5. I still think that there's a time where we can start winning games. It has to be now, but I think we can get back there and get into a fringe playoff spot.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it, but it's going to be an uphill battle from here. The Holmes Hitters are coming in at 11.
Yep.
Down from number 9. The Broken Bat Bombers fall to 10 this week. Fall into Trav. This team just did not perform this week, in my opinion. Well, I mean, it was all right. 54 points isn't bad. It's a solid week. Could catch a dub with that amount, but I've said this. I just really don't like this team.
Yeah.
I don't know how this team is going to be 500.
I don't know. I don't know where to go with this team. There are times where I say that this is a solid team, and then there are times where I say that, yeah, this team probably shouldn't make the playoffs. No. It has a lack of power, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, Alonso's really the only guy in that lineup that can give you a homer on any given night. Everybody else is, you're hoping maybe hits one every 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's sad, but Corbin Carroll's fallen off too as well.
Yeah, he's been awful this year. Sophomore slump, big time for Corbin Carroll. First round pick, not looking good at all.
Right.
Moving on to number 9, down from number 8. Andrew's bum shoulder is going to also be 500, and this team is also not looking very good. I mean, Henderson and Rodriguez pretty much are this team. Everybody else is not a quality fantasy player.
And they lost Dansby Swanson.
And they lost Dansby Swanson this week.
So he has to play the only guy that's not hurt next week.
Yeah, he's pretty banged up. He needs to make some moves. Probably put a guy on his IL this week. I've assumed that probably Dansby Swanson of those 3 guys that are on the IL. I think I would go Swanson as well. But this team, I think it's overperformed so far this year, and it got beat by 20 this week. I don't think Dansby Swanson really makes a difference if he plays or not. Maybe it's a little closer, but the bum shoulders are coming in this week at number 9. Up, a big come up this week. Trav's Travioli Raviolis bouncing from number 10 to number 8. They Judge came alive. Willie Adames has been good. Reese Hoskins had a big week against the Cardinals. Really, I think Jazz Chisholm on his bench is kind of crazy over Profar. But
no, you don't know ball, brother.
Chisholm. How bad has he been?
Profar's been great, is all I'm trying to say.
He has been? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not paying that close of attention to what Profar's been doing.
He's been hitting a little bit, a double and a triple, 2 hits, a double. I mean, I don't know. I've definitely, if you look at Profar this year, I think he's one of the best players right now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Profar.
He didn't hit like this.
I mean, this was a good week for Trav. Like I said,
I think 320.
There, Trav said Profar had a down week. He's been great.
Yes.
I have not checked closely on Jerks and Profar. I'm sorry, but my point is, this is the week I wanted to see from Trav. I think that this team has had some tough breaks to start the year, and like I said, I've been high on this team even though they're moving to 2 and 4. I'm lower on some teams that have better records, but I think Trav's team has what it takes to climb out of this the hole that they've built themselves.
Yeah, I think Judge is back. He had a terrible first month of the season, but he's got it cooking with gas now, and he can carry an offense like he did this week to a dub. I'm guessing Trav sent a few emojis or something that didn't load.
A salute and a handshake.
Oh, okay.
He likes what we're saying.
All right. Well, that's good. He can stop bitching now.
All right. Moving on to number 7. Oh, this is a big one. Sam Sluggers dropping from 5 to 7.
Yeah.
2 huge injuries really caps the ceiling of this team. This may be the downfall of Sluggers, unfortunately. Unless you can get, some prime Paul Goldschmidt, I just don't see this team now being able to compete without Trout and Wilson Contreras, who have been very, very good to start the year.
Yeah, and Bregman's been abysmal. So
Bregman's not been good. Churio has been average.
He doesn't have. Yeah, he's going to have to go out, I think, on the waiver and find somebody, because I don't know if I would trust. I would not personally. I would not play Bregman. I honestly don't know a whole lot of what Chirino's done this year, but he's going to have to find someone to replace Contreras. And if Paul Goldschmidt continues his hitting slumps, this team is severely capped at its ability to win games.
Yeah, I dropped this team for those reasons. You hit them all kind of on the head there. It just 2 injuries that I think are going to be tough to overcome going forward. And I liked this team when it was healthy, and now it is not. So they're dropping from 5 to 7. That means the Arlington Taxpayers are staying at 6. They said, I better not drop in the rankings this week. Well, you're lucky Sam suffered some injuries, because I didn't really have much of a choice other than drop you. But Sam taking those 2 big injuries is going to keep the Taxpayers at 6, even though they are 2 and 4. Simeon, like I said, huge week. Freeman, huge week. Volpe. This team, like we said before, it's a team that I think is a middle of the pack team. Definitely can compete with the upper echelon, but has yet to kind of prove it. And it'll be interesting to see if he can ever take that next step. But right now, he's kind of gonna be right in the middle of the pack for me.
Yeah. So O'Neal's first month of greatness is over, as it always is. I think his luck has run out. I don't think Marsh plays Jimenez next week. He'll probably sub in Castellanos because I think Castellanos has been playing better lately. But I still am surprised at how well Volpe has played.
Yeah, he's been good this year.
It's one thing to have a good 1 or 2 weeks. He's had a really good season so far, and he continued it this week. Every time he hit a short porch homer, I was cussing out my TV. Which was twice this week. I like this team. They just ran into a buzzsaw this week. So better luck next time, Austin.
Yes, better luck next time, taxpayers. All right, moving on to number 5, we have Ryan's rallying raw, jumping. This team has come from pretty much the basement. They were down, I think, at one point. I'm looking here back at my notes. They were at 10 one point. Now they're up to 5. They moved to 500. But man, up and down this lineup, it's pretty nice. He's went out on the waiver wire and added some nice pieces.
Almost double-digit performances across the board. That's actually really great to see. And yeah, I mean, Springer, Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, and Kelly Carpenter are really good bench pieces to have. Jordan Westberg, I believe he probably picked him up off the waiver wire.
Yeah, I don't think right now, in my opinion, Ryan is up for manager of the year so far. Through the first 6 weeks, Ryan has done the best job of turning his team around. I'll give him credit where credit is due. Was not high on this team to start the year. I liked his first 3 really the first 2. I liked Witt and Tatis, but the rest I didn't care for at all. And he's done a good job of putting in pieces, I think, that are, quality fantasy options for him. And he's continually climbed the ranks because of his work on the waiver wire. He's done a great job.
I agree with that. Well done, Ryan. Way to turn your shit show around.
Yes. All right. On to number 4. Staying the same. The Ninja Chickens coming in at 4. Didn't have the greatest of weeks this week. Adolis Garcia really didn't do much for him. Devers, it's just kind of it wasn't bad necessarily. A lot of hits, but no huge weeks from anybody to kind of put him over the top here. I felt like he could have won this matchup very easily, just didn't get it done.
How about Kyle Tucker? 4 hits, all
4 dongs.
He leads the AL. I think he actually leads the entire league, MLB, in homers right now at 13, and then Ozuna from the Braves has got 12. So, yeah, I think this team's still in a solid spot. Unfortunate that they just couldn't pull out enough points. Adolis having kind of a down week. I would say he's probably got one spot. Like, I think Verdugo's that guy that you probably move. If you're going to move a guy out of your lineup, not saying he has to, it's probably going to be Verdugo. Because I think, Duran's played well. Cronenworth has also played decent this year. Maybe if he catches one of those guys on a hot week, he can get some more wins. But this team's still in a good spot to keep winning games.
Yeah. I think so too.
Probably the best 3-3 team.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think that this team is, this top 4 is continually kind of been the upper echelon. I think Murph has had a pretty rough stretch to start the year of opponents. He lost to, I think, Hormones with Clubs and the Mud Biscuits. to start the year. So I mean, there's 2 losses there that kind of puts him at, he hasn't shown the ability, I think, to beat the upper echelon, but he is in the upper echelon.
Yeah, he's still
Weird
searching
enough to
for
say.
that big win against a big team.
Yeah, I want to say maybe he did beat Hormones with clubs.
Did he?
He beat somebody in the upper echelon. I can't remember who it was. He's not in the chat. Otherwise, I'd have him check.
Okay. Well, let's move on to 3, and we'll breeze over our ignorance real quick.
3 is Hormones with clubs staying the same again. Really no. I'm just going to kind of spoil it. There's really no movement this week in the top 4. Everybody won besides Murph. So the Hormones with clubs coming in at 3 again. Ohtani, I think, has a tight back. Interesting to watch going forward. But that Cleveland Guardian combo of Ramirez and Naylor has been pretty awesome to watch this year. Part of the reason why the Guardians are one of the best teams in baseball.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of gone under the radar, the Guardians so far, but Ramirez and Naylor have been amazing together. He's really I'm interested to see what he does with Manny Machado, with how much he's been struggling. But, that top 3, 4 that he has on his team is going to be pretty tough to beat most weeks.
The top 3 is crazy good.
Yeah, and then one of those bottom 3 are bound to pop off.
Most
this
likely
week it didn't happen, but
Machado's probably going to be the guy. Christian Walker can pop off. I'm not sold on Eloy because he's always hurt, but he's got good bench pieces. I think Jeremy Pena is batting over 300 this year, and Brian Reynolds is always a fantastic hitter.
Right.
So if he's going to make a move, he's got the good pieces to do it, to sub in. So this team's in a good spot.
Right. Yeah, so that leads us to number 2. The Rally Birds are coming back again at number 2. I think they maintain the highest scoring team in the league, but they are 5-1. Marte really has kind of been the guy for me this year. Hit on him, I think, in like the 5th or 6th round. I drafted him. Been very happy with him. Soto's been solid. Alvarez been solid. And then the 2 waiver wire pickups, Mountcastle and Brian De La Cruz, both had really nice weeks this week. Whenever I lost, I was pretty stoked about getting Stephen Kwan, but he goes on the IL for me. And Langford, I did drop because he's out for a good chunk of time. So, Michael Harris has really been struggling. He was awful last week for me.
You making a move?
I think I'm going to stick to him, unless I like him a lot. I trust his game, but Jake Berger has been solid. Matt Chapman's been meh, but Spencer Steer's been solid too when he's been healthy. I don't know. I'll probably keep my lineup the same next week. It just kind of depends on how many games I'm going up against too. So,
okay.
Rally Birds are coming in at 2. And then finally, that kind of gives it away. The Mud Biscuits are coming in at 1 again. They have pretty much dominated the number 1 spot besides week 3, where the Rally Birds jumped up and got them. The Mud Biscuits stay at number 1. Ozuna has been huge. Guerrero's kind of coming around the corner. No extra base hits for Guerrero this week, though. He hit 500, but he didn't have an extra base hit.
Yeah, wow. This team's going to start running into losses, though, real fast, and they're going to pile up. He's got 3 guys hurt. His only decent bench options are going to be Josh Lau and Giancarlo Stanton. I'm hoping Nimmo's out for a week or 2, selfishly hoping that he's hurt, because this team needs to lose some games so that they can get humbled. He shouldn't have won this week. 5 homers and 5 doubles. and this is just a pathetic performance again from the Mud Biscuits, who are going to retain first place with an absolute abysmal squad.
I will refrain from saying too much about this team, but I do think that this team has been living on the edge a little bit too much for my liking.
Yeah, they've been flaunting their stuff, and pretty soon they're going to take a 12 gauge at the face. It's coming, Torbeck. You're going to lose. I'm spinning the block when I see you next time.
Yes.
We're going to run it back.
Moving on to next week. That wraps up our rankings. We have, oh boy, the Holmes Hitters against the 1-5 matchup next week. The Hitters versus Randy's Balls.
See, the schedule starts to lighten up. We're going to get some wins under our belt.
I don't know. Cole's been due. He has been due. He's had some good weeks.
Stop saying that.
Has not been able to get it done. But we have the Holmes Hitters and the Randy's Balls going at it next week. Should be a fun matchup. Should be a little bickering back and forth in the Discord. Then we have the Rally Birds against the very injured Sam Sluggers. I'm hoping the Rally Birds can come through in that one. We have the Raviolis and the Taxpayers. That's another fun matchup to look forward to.
Yeah, one of these. Yeah, I think loser of this game gets put to 12th in the power rankings. Deal.
I don't think we can do that. But I'm pulling for Trav to make a run here. His team is solid. I'm pulling for him. The Mud Biscuits are taking on. This is a big matchup.
Here we go.
Mud Biscuits and the
matchup of the week right here.
Because the Mud Biscuits fall here. That kind of opens the door for the clubs to maybe jump up in that number one and get their first taste at the top this year. So that'll be a fun one to watch. Two of the top 3 scoring teams going at it in the league. Looking forward to that one. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan's Rallying Raw, getting, I think, a little bit of a break in the schedule, going up against the Broken Bat Bombers. Ryan's team is looking to climb above 500. This team has climbed its way out of the basement and looking to add to it.
One of these teams is 4-2, but otherwise I think all the others are going to be 3-3. So these are going to be probably some really close games, and we'll see a good amount of shakeup in the standings.
Yeah, well, the Broken Bat Bombers lost this week, and so did the Bum Shoulder. So they're 3-3.
So
these bottom 4 teams, though, these bottom 4 teams are all going to be 3-3 next week.
Okay, good. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah, so there'll be a little. I mean, I think the 2 teams on the left side are much better than the 2 teams on the right side, but we'll ultimately see how it shakes out by the end of the week. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that we don't get too many injuries next week, because there's a lot of good matchups, and I'm looking forward to them.
Yeah. And I personally, I have a hard time rooting for teams that don't have a profile picture up. So I'd rather go with, I'm not even going to say what that is, and the Ninja Chickens. I'm pulling for those 2 over the teams with no profile pictures up.
Yep. I think it's going to be a fun week. My matchup of the week is going to be that Mud Biscuit club matchup. I'm looking forward to it. I do think that one I think comes down to Sunday night. I don't know if anybody has Sunday night matchup, but that's going to come down to Sunday. Going to be tight throughout the week. I'm really hoping Otani's healthy for this too.
Yeah,
it's going to be something to watch. I know Nimmo was on Sunday Night Baseball tonight and said that he's good to go. He's just getting a day off today. But I'm really hoping that we get to see both these teams at full strength going at each other.
Yeah, and Caleb, if you need any memes or something, let me know. I can give you some good material for Andrew.
Yeah, but that wraps it up for me. Is there anything else the IRS wants to say?
Nope. We saw, we conquered this week.
I love it. All right, everybody. We ran a little long on this one, but we wanted to show Michael's data work. So that is it for us. We will see you guys next week, and I will have the memes out hopefully tomorrow morning. Hopefully it's not crazy at work. It'll be fun. So,
I'm so excited.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to a Michael winning meme week.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
It's going to be a good one. So, all right, guys, we will see you guys next week. Be sure to set your lineups and make your lineup changes tonight. Get your waiver wire ads in. I'm telling you now, you got to watch till 40 minutes in the video to know. So that's it for me. That's it for Michael. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.